bring out a special guest of ours. And I like a lay down sale means someone that is like, this sounds great, and just joins, right? That's in the sales world, that's called a lay down sale. Someone that doesn't object to anything. They're just like, let's go, let's do this, and rock it out. And so I want to bring out a special guest because I think you'll get so much benefit from her. And we love to talk about her. We love to feature her. And I did pretend to slur on that last one, just so you're aware. Okay, I'm not actually wasted. That was a purposeful slur. Um, and so there's several things that impressed me about her. She's been the number one recruiter in her company for several years now, and she's featured on stage all the time. And she first, I believe, and we'll ask her, make sure this is right, but when she first got announced on stage, the company was in a place where they bashed cold messaging, and they were not fans. Like, they would actively say, like, hey, don't do cold messaging. No, because some people they equate cold messaging to spam. Cold messaging is not spam. Now, you could spam in cold messaging by assuming the position of the prospect without any evidence, right? You could certainly spam people a sign-up link. That would be spam. But if you're messaging them in the correct way, that's not spam. You're finding out if they're open. And so so when they realized that she was using cold messaging and using our scripts, and she was the number one recruiter, I think they lessened their hardcore stance on cold messaging. And she's just been rocking it ever since. And so please help me welcome Christina Danielle. Christina, how are you? Uh-oh, you're muted.
Sorry. Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, my dear?
Good. Good to be here.
Yay.
Exciting.
I think you got a few teammates in here, right?
Possibly.
Possibly. Oh,
Maybe.
okay.
There's a lot of people in here.
Yeah. Awesome. And so tell us a little bit about your story. Like, why? Because it sounded, we've had you on a couple times,
Yeah.
and it sounds like you enjoy the cold messaging. So can you kind of give us a little bit of background there?
Yeah, so I'm new to the industry, and I didn't know anything about network marketing. And so I was not successful the first almost year of my network marketing career. And someone introduced me to Ray and his methods, and it was right around when COVID started. So I'm a teacher by trade. I've since retired. So, at that time we were staying at home. We had the gift of time on our hands, and that's what cold messaging actually requires, is time and consistency. And so I was bottom of the company when I started cold messaging, and now I'm top of the company. So, and our company is small and we have a lot of room for growth, but I am and my CEO sees, what has happened from not only my growth in the company, but we have coached, and my uplines, a couple uplines up, have noticed what has happened and how effective it is, and how it's made for every single person that joins. There's not any limitation on this. There's, if you want to do vendor events, there's money limitations. If you want to be an attraction marketer, there's limitations on that, because very few people can be attraction marketers. And so, there's limitations on every single way that you can work this business, except for cold messaging. Cold messaging, there's literally anyone can do it.
Yeah.
And because of that, it's so duplicatable and so easy to teach your team to do. And I mean, that's just been my journey. I have so much more to go, and I have made lots of mistakes along the way, especially in the beginning. And I think what's helped me is sticking to, the trainings, because, you guys all who have come before me and have done all this cold messaging, you guys have been in the trenches and you kind of know what works and doesn't work and how to fine tune and tweak what you do. And I know a lot of people reach out and tell me, oh my God, call messaging doesn't work for me. Okay, well, how long have you been doing it? Well, I just got back into it like last month or so. I've been doing it straight 30 days. And I'm like, 30 days, guys, come on. Do you plant seeds and expect fruit tomorrow? No, this is a long game. This is not like, oh, I became amazing overnight. This was every single day working my business and not allowing myself as an employee of myself to
Mm.
have a day off. I mean, I literally did work Christmas, I worked Easter, I worked every single day. I wouldn't give myself those excuses like, oh, I don't feel good today, so I'll just get back in it tomorrow. No, tomorrow doesn't come. So just being consistent and sending out the messages that Ray gives us, making sure you're not spamming. Ray just wants us to be more effective with cold messaging because there's so many ways that you can do it poorly. And I'm sure I did it poorly in the beginning, but as I've gone on and making sure I'm taking those trainings from Ray and his coaches and making the tweaks and making adjustments to my mindset, making adjustments to my methods. I mean, I've just been very successful with it.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's so cool. Now, I am curious, like, are there bigger like social media influencers in your company?
So I mean, it's a really new company. So I've really been the
But it's
star
yeah,
for
but
the
it's been a few
past
years, hasn't it?
8, 9 years. Is that?
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not that new, but
Yeah. I mean, I guess I don't know too much about network marketing, but I think my vision is so much bigger than anybody in the company,
yeah,
what they make monetarily. My vision is just way past that. So I just know that we haven't hit that momentum yet.
gotcha.
But yeah, in our company, I don't, I've pretty much been it, I think, for the past couple of years.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
awesome. So, couple questions. One is, the last time we chatted, which I think was maybe a year ago, maybe something like that. So Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Hope you had a good Christmas. Um, is I think there were two main methods where you located people. You actually used some Google,
Mhm.
and yet it has what do you see working now? Since you're pretty so consistent at this, doing it actively,
Mhm.
maintaining number one recruiter status,
Yeah.
like where are you locating people?
Okay. So, personally, I've been a huge advocate of doing it on Facebook. And I know a big complaint, a lot of people say, "Oh my God, nobody's seeing my messages." No, they're not going to see. You just do the work. You just send out your messages, whatever number you commit to every single day. I know some guy in the group was just saying, "Man, I've sent out like 4,000 messages in the past 4 months." And so I did the math and I was like, hmm, I think it came out to about 30 a day. I'm like, I could do 30 a day, like blindfolded with my hands tied behind my back. And the guy was saying, "Oh yeah, and I've only got a few. I haven't got that many team members added." And I'm like, "You've gotten team members added? That's amazing! In a few months that you've been working." I mean, so it's the thing about it is that you're going to send out a bunch of messages on Facebook. You're going to get cut off at a certain number. So once you get cut off at that number, sometimes about 50, you can usually do about 50, and then they'll cut you off. You have to wait 24 hours to do it again. About 10% of those people are going to see your messages unless you do some of the other things that some of Ray's coaches teach, which is go to their profile, comment on something that they've posted. You can do that. But for me, I don't do those things because I am a machine and I just pump them out. And I
Yeah,
put my effort on pumping more out than to go and comment on their profile. That's
yeah,
just a personal thing that I do. So it cuts you off. And so when I was trying to hit those higher numbers, like 80 to 100 a day, what I would do is I would go to Facebook, send out the message until it cut me off. And then I would go to Google and I would email people. And it's the exact same script. I
So
don't,
explain. So before we get to scripts,
yeah,
explain what were you going to Google and searching, and this I know will vary by
yeah.
person, but like what were you searching?
Yeah, so my company is a pet nutrition company. So I would go search for, if you think about whatever, like if you do hair care or something. I know one of the girls was asking me, "Well, I do hair care, so I don't know who to search for." Oh, you don't? How about salons? How about tanning salons? How about, anybody who might be interested in hair
Hairstylists, right?
hairstylists?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you really have to think about who your people are that you're reaching out to. So for me, I would reach out to, I know, and I'm systematic. So what I'll do is day one, I write it out on my calendar. So Alabama groomers. So I go to Google and usually it'll give you like 10 pages of Alabama groomers. And I go to each one, go to their website. It is a little more time consuming to do it this way, but I'll go to their website, send them the message. And then I'll do the next day, Alaska groomers. And then and that'll take me 2 months. And then the next 2 months I'll do pet sitters or dog walkers. I've done doggy daycare, veterinarians, fish big, go for the big fish, breeders. So there's a lot of different people connected to my industry that I think would find value in what we do. And, honestly, even regular people will find value. Anybody in the world would find value in what we do, no matter what the product is that you sell. I've shared with Ray that I don't even have dogs here. And so sometimes I have to go steal pictures from my neighbor's dogs so that I can put them on social media, but I have
And for those of you that are obsessed with the scripts, we're going to give them to you, but pay attention and learn to pay attention. So pay attention to what she's saying. We're not going to tell you this and then say, "All right, good luck, gang." We're going to tell you, what to say. So those of you that are obsessing over the scripts, we're going to tell you. Promise, not going to withhold it from you, but make sure you're staying present and listening, or we locate a question we have and we miss everything that they're saying, right? And so just be aware of that. Be aware of that. Is sometimes you miss the juice because you're focused on your one question that I'm telling you will be answered. And so just want to point this out again. So she's the number one recruiter, does it 100% cold messaging in a pet nutrition company, doesn't have pets. That would be like, if you're in a shampoo company and the bald guy is the number one earner, right? It'd be very similar, right?
yeah.
It'd be like, what? What do you mean? And
And
so you're just taking ideas, basically, that of what type of people might want to get, and so don't people get annoyed or unfriend you with so many daily posts? She
I don't do that.
doesn't post
No,
daily. So we're
no.
not talking about posts. We're talking about prospecting. So prospecting is you sending a message. You're not posting 50 times or 30 times or 80 times or 100 times. You're definitely not posting. Okay. You
Never.
are sending a message, a direct message. That's called prospecting.
Mhm.
Marketing is posting. Marketing is posting and praying that someone sees it. Hope someone sees it, right? And you'll learn that, I think, in week 5, I think is when we cover attraction marketing. And so she's taking who might want to sell my products, be associated with my products, etc. And she is just like saying, you know what? I sell, toothpaste, maybe moms around soccer, right? Maybe soccer moms, right? I don't know. Or I sell, energy drinks. You know what? Realtors like energy drinks. Let's search realtors, right? And so it's just you, not some precise, what exactly is the person that to reach it. Well, if you absolutely cannot use, come up with anything in your brain, then just look at who's in your company. Say, oh, there's a CPA there, right? Well, now you can say that, we, right, as a representative of the company, we help CPAs with ba right, make more money or whatever you want to say. But I'm getting the idea that you're mainly leading with product. I would assume.
No,
No.
I don't ever
Okay.
offer product
Okay.
initially. It's always opportunity.
Okay.
Mhm.
So now, all right. So before we move forward, how are you finding people on? So you've shared with us how you find them on Google, which is
Yes.
amazing. And oh, by the way, you'll never run out of. And oh, by the way, you'll never be banned or blocked
Hmm.
because that's coming from your email, and that's you. You know, you can send hundreds of those a day, no problem. And there's no social media going to ratchet you down. So there's an unlimited. But where are you finding people on Facebook? Like, what's your suggestion?
And then just to go back to Google really quick. So I've already been through, because I've been doing it a couple of years. I've already been through ABC on, all the states and all of these things. So now when I give these assignments to my team, they're starting over, and it's okay, because back then when I sent the email, maybe these groomers were at a different place in their life and they weren't open. But it's okay. You can repeat that. It is truly
Sure.
never ending, because you
Yeah.
can just keep, and there's always more businesses popping up
Yeah.
and people paying for higher ranks on Google. So you're hitting those businesses. So definitely unlimited there, fishing pond.
Yeah.
I will say, when you do your subject line, you want a catchy subject line to increase the open rate, like maybe let's chat, or, Ray has some good ones. Just look at Ray's emails that he sends you. He's always got some catchy lines that increase the chances of people opening your emails.
Yeah.
So the question on Facebook is, same concept. So what I'll do is I'll go, and honestly, for Facebook, it's even more unlimited, because you can offer the opportunity to anybody. I used to have this criteria like, oh, I'm only going to prospect people who have a pet in their picture. Well, how many people, what did I throw away? How many people did I'm not going to not offer them the opportunity just because they don't have a dog in their picture. Like, I'm I'm cutting them off from this opportunity, like that's not right. Like, we should offer it to everybody. It's an amazing opportunity, this one that we have been exposed to. So everybody deserves to have it. And some of your coaches will say, just go into a group and message everybody named Christina. And you could say in that group, hey, like Ray said, don't message people in groups that you belong to. You always make sure that you're clicking public, so you're in a public group. But like, if you like plants, go in a plant group and message everybody named Christina and say, hey, oh my gosh, I found you online. I saw that we both love plants, and blah 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 blah, whatever, Ray's script, the bones of Ray's script. So what I do for pet nutrition, I mean, I'll go into different breeds. I have a whole list of dog breeds, and then I have, of course, my alphabetical states, and I'll just, and each day, what's so important when you're reaching out on Facebook is to get your planner. Like, you can get the 90-day planner or the new one that Ray has, that it's been in the past year, and mark out exactly what group you're going to go into each day. So you're not sitting there on Facebook like, who should I reach out today? Now, I reached out
That's a
yesterday
good
to
point.
So make your plan and make it for the whole month, and say, Monday, I'm reaching out to CPAs in Alabama. Tuesday, I'm reaching out to CPAs in Alaska. Wednesday, I'm reaching out to CPAs in Arizona. Map it out.
Yeah.
You can do a month, you could do 6 months. And that way, I'm all about efficiency. And I'm a machine, and my goal is to get as many people touched as I can each day. And so I cut it down to this concise, activity that I do daily.
Yeah. And Diane says many groups have a no messaging clause. And Christina said pick public groups. She's not even a member of the group.
And I
Am I
don't tell
right?
them where I found them. Yeah, I don't tell. I'll
Yeah.
say a very general statement if they ever come back. Listen, I rarely get hate, and I've messaged thousands of people.
Yeah.
They're usually
Most,
so
most
busy.
people, like, if you look at a lot of the comments, are fear-based, not experience-based.
Hmm.
And so we build up this fear of, well, don't they say this? And what about this? And don't they hate this? And don't they do? But none of that is actual experience based. This is why I wanted to bring you on
Yeah.
and have you share, because it's fun to have you say the things that I like to say, just so they hear it from somebody else that's doing it, that's rocking it. Because I've also had people say, "Oh yeah, cold messaging worked when you were building," and I'm like, you know what? Hold on a second here. Hold on a second. And so let's see. I mean, you've covered so much. I don't know how much more I can squeeze out of you here.
I mean, I'll
So,
just touch on that a little bit about because people for some reason are so nervous. I mean, it's not like it's Aunt Bessie and you're going to see her at dinner next Tuesday and everybody's
right.
going to make
Who
fun of
cares?
you for spamming her.
Yeah.
That's why cold market is so amazing.
Yeah.
You're never going to see these people. And
Yeah.
if they are not open to the opportunity, they're usually going to ignore you. And so you don't have to have that negative interaction. But I mean, even with those interactions that are like, oh, is this direct sales? Yeah, it is. Not for everyone. Have a good one.
Exactly.
Not a fit for everybody.
Manage the posture,
Yeah.
right?
And I
So
think,
Diane, just to help you out here, Diane, she's finding public groups, and you just click public groups. You do
mhm,
not have to be a member of them, but you can see what members are in there.
some of them. Yeah.
And
So,
and so, you can mess if you see
yeah.
someone's a plant lover, like you said,
Mhm,
right? You don't have to be a member of that group,
yeah.
right? So if someone says, "Hey, realtors, you can't be messaging other realtors." Well, if I'm not a realtor and I am able to gain access to the list of realtors, I'm not under that clause. I'm not under
You're
that.
not ever going to see that message because you're not in that group.
And
So,
and Kenneth. So share. We'll get there, Kenneth. We're going to help you out here, man. There's always so many questions around cold messaging because people build up. They build up. So much. Um, and so you shared earlier that you will associate how you found them and pertain it to them, but you didn't say what group, which I agree with.
yeah.
Okay. Kenneth, I think maybe missed that. But you're never just, sending them a message saying, um, hey, I'm seeing, I got to stop looking at the comments. I'm sorry. I got to stop looking at the
Yeah.
comments for a
Stop.
second. Um, but you're never just saying, hey, are you open to an opportunity? You're saying, hey, I see that you like the Chicago Cubs. Me too. Or I see that you live in Dallas, or I see
It's
you're always
focused.
pertaining to them, right?
It's focused. And I rarely get someone who says, "Where'd you
Yeah.
find me?"
Yeah.
Because that's sometimes those people are actually good people and actually turn into really good prospects.
Yeah.
They are really just looking for the answer. And I give them a general, "Oh, I just usually look for like-minded pet professionals online."
Yeah.
What are they going to say? And I don't ever say, even if I just messaged them, I'm not going to tell them, "Oh, I went into Golden Doodle Breeders of North America and found your
Yeah.
name there." I'm not going to do that. Even though I'm not in that group, I'm just not going to go down that road. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Exactly. And so, can you share, especially since you are not leading with the product, because it gets a little dicey if you're leading with the product, but can you share, because you're using, our scripts in both scenarios. So I imagine they're both kind of the same.
yeah,
It's not like you're not saying, I located you on Google, right? You're just, you're,
yeah.
okay. So
So
feel free, go at it.
yeah,
Let's
so
go. Let's go running.
when I started, I was leading with the product. Listen, if you're going to be teaching your teams to do cold prospecting, they're going to get more immediate sales from leading with the product. I feel like people are more inclined to buy than join. Maybe sometimes me, I'm just because I'm sending out these messages as many as I can. I'm only leading with opportunity and deflect a product if they say no. But when you're leading with the product, you're going to have to actually go into the Facebook group. And so what I'll do is I'll go in for my product, I'll go in and say, I'll Google a group and then I'll go in that group and I'll just put in the search bar like allergies. And then a bunch of posts will pop up. And I usually look for a post that says, "Oh, my dog has allergies. What do I do?" And there's like 61 comments. Well, every comment, a lot of them are like, "Oh, yeah, me too. Oh my God, my dog has this problem." Following, following, following. So I message them and I use the same script, but I'll say, "Hey," and you have to be specific on this one though, because if you have a lot of
Sure.
different products, because you follow up, because people don't buy or join on the first.
I mean, and everyone on here, you're gonna have to, what does this equate to your product or
Yeah.
your service?
Mhm.
But what about the opportunity? Like how are you, positioning that?
How am I
Like
positioned?
what's your, because you said you lead with the opportunity
Yes.
mainly. And
Yeah.
so how, just if you
The
don't mind.
script.
Yeah.
So it's, "Hey, I know we don't know each other, but I've been working with a lot of breeders in your area. And I'm a distributor for a pet nutrition company. Um, why do I not have this memorized? I'm a distributor for a pet nutrition company, and I teach other breeders to add a stream of income to their existing business without carrying inventory. And would you be open to taking a look? If not, no problem or no worries.
Yeah. So it's not, it's not something drastically different from what we teach. Like I'm not, I like saying now if you're going after business owners, then stream of income I think is fine. If you're going after more normals that aren't business owners, I would say
Mhm.
extra money. That's just my, 2 cents. But just keep
I've
in
tweaked
mind,
it so many times with your coaching too. So
what's that?
I've tweaked my script so many times
Yeah.
after coaching with you, coaching with
Yeah.
just hearing Jessica, hearing the coaches. So I've
Yeah.
definitely, added
Yeah.
some stuff.
And so, awesome, awesome. I know that we could hit you with a million questions, but I'll handle the rest of the questions here and stop taking up your whole night here. But Christina Danielle, you're amazing. I really appreciate you. Thanks for coming out here. Thanks for always being willing to do this,
Yeah,
and just really appreciate you.
sure.
So give her some love. Give her some love. She's amazing. She's